When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Skims or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Allbirds uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/income.
An all-new season of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
Mom talk has just been blowing up.
Whitney and Jen are on Dancing with the Stars.
Taylor is a bachelorette. Saying that out loud is crazy. Like, that is huge.
But all the cool opportunities could pull us apart.
It's causing issues in everyone's marriage.
My whole world is falling apart right now. It's chaos.
Watch the Hulu original series, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+ for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
Heidi-ho, I'm Uno Clay from Philadelphia, and I support GenXGrownUp on Patreon. In a world torn apart by angry pundits and ceaselessly acerbic news, the cheerful tone of GenXGrownUp is always a welcome escape, not to mention endlessly entertaining, and sometimes even informative. If you want to support the show too, click on GenXGrownUp.com/Patreon and toss them a couple bucks. It's the guaranteed way to gain the respect of your peers and immediate promotions at work. Not guaranteed in all 50 states. Some employers may see fit to demote you, and your peers will probably find you weird and distasteful. Results may vary. You are warned.
No life, no fun. Don't you know that you're a grown-up?
Gen X Grown Up is a YouTube channel, website, and audio podcast you're listening to right now. All made for and by people who love exploring media, games, tech, and toys of yesterday and today through the eyes of Gen Xers who refuse to grow up.
Your dinner cannot just be french fries. Basically, life sucks as a grown-up.
Welcome back, Gen X Grown Up podcast listener, to this episode 207 of the Gen X Grown Up podcast. I'm John. Joining me as always, my buddy Mo. Hey, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. You know, it's not a show without George. How you doing, George?
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
It is going well. You know, in this episode, we're going to review a live theater production starring everyone's favorite furry cryptid, test drive a fully loaded and customizable arcade controller that we helped to design, and play demos for 2 promising new games releasing right around the corner. We're going to get to those topics and many more in this episode. But first, it is time for the 4th listener email. We're liable to listen. There's 3 of us. If anybody else does, we count that up to 4 then, and you become our 4th listener. 4th listener for this episode is Robert S. Now, you know, we cross-post these shows about a week later on YouTube, and sometimes we get some input over on YouTube. And Robert dropped us a line there on a recent episode. And George, this is going to be particularly of interest to you because he's talking about Robin Hood. You mentioned the new series on MGM you were watching.
Yeah.
So Robert says, I am a big fan of the Robin Hood story too. Beyond the great Disney version, there is the iconic version starring Errol Flynn. It includes perhaps my favorite exchange in movie history, where after Robin Hood denounces the sheriff, Maid Marian says, "You speak treason." And Robin Hood replies, "Fluently." Says, I saw the Robin Hood film starring Russell Crowe, and while it was okay, I couldn't help but notice how the version completely de-emphasized that Robin Hood's primary notoriety was his steal from the rich and give to the poor campaign. That seems to ignore the essential component of the Robin Hood story that I grew up loving. Now he has a theory. He says, I haven't seen any of the Robin Hood films since, but I suspect they also dilute that part of the tale. I'll let you ponder why huge entertainment cartels run by megalomaniacal. So you can't say it either.
Megalomaniacal.
There it is. Megalomaniacal. Yeah. Billionaires
what he said.
Eliminate the fight from social justice from the story of Robin Hood, but I have my theory.
I wonder what his theory is.
You might be onto something, Robert. Oh, hey, we love that you listen, Robert. We love that you found us over on YouTube there. We don't get tons of listeners over there, but it's a great place to pick up folks that might not otherwise locate us here on all the other podcast aggregation apps. Some people just don't listen to podcasts. They think it's different than YouTube, and sometimes it's there too. We also love that you wrote in and told us your thoughts on Robin Hood. We'll love it every time a fourth listener drops us a line. If you would like your email featured here on the show, it's drop dead easy. Just hit us up at podcast@GenXGrownUp.com. We read every single one, and most of them, like Robert's, will eventually make the show. All right, guys, that good business in the rearview mirror. Let's jump into the body of episode 207 right after this very quick break.
Refreshing wild cherry cola meets smooth cream. The treat you deserve. Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream. Treat yourself.
You're listening to Gen X Grown Up. But if you have a friend who's not yet listening, why not? Tell them about us. They'll thank you later.
In 1973, a small bar served the first light beer. The response was unanimous.
Tastes great.
Here was a beer with its own special brewing process.
Less filling.
It's brewed to be light with only the finest quality ingredients.
Tastes great. It's less filling.
Today there are lots of lights around, but none are brewed like Miller Lite, and none can match the taste.
Tastes great! Tastes great!
For great taste, there's only one light beer, Miller Lite.
Let's get the show started here talking about media we have been enjoying or checking out since the last time we spoke. Now, of course, this could be books or comics or television or film or anything else in the world of media that we are going to stretch outside of in this episode. But Mo, I want to start with you. What have you been watching?
So I watched a movie on Netflix called War Machine. I don't know if you guys saw it. It stars Alan Richardson from Reacher fame. And it's a bunch of recruits who are trying to get into special forces, and they're on like a training mission, and they actually run into an alien war thing.
Oh, I didn't know there was aliens in it. Okay, maybe not.
Yeah, the trailer. That's in all the trailers, so it's like nothing secret of getting away there. It started very promising, then it became extremely predictable. It's like, oh, we got this group of military people together. Oh, one's the screw up, one's the this, one's the that. You know, it's like they had all the exact same things. The whole storyline behind it, I was kind of like, I could have written the ending, in my opinion. Like, I knew exactly how it was going to end. And I was talking with Amy about it, and she's like, yeah. And then sure enough, we watched it to the end, and we're like, yep, that's exactly what we said was going to happen.
Right.
Some of the special effects, in a way, I was very disappointed because I thought the premise could have been a very, very cool movie. You know, it's kind of Predator-ish kind of ideal. But yeah, they kind of went off the rails and just made, to me, just a predictable movie.
So when you said Alien, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll watch it because I'm aware it exists, but it wasn't on my radar. I've not watched any trailers. So and then you mentioned Alien because you're like Alien. I'm like, oh, I'm on board. And then you're like, well, it's kind of predictable. And I'm like, oh, maybe not. And then you're like, it's kind of like Predator. And I'm like, well, maybe I'm back on board. So is it set in the real world? Is it set like in Space Marines, outer space kind of thing? What's
normal,
it like?
Normal world. People who are going through the special forces training, you know, it's like grueling training they go through, and there's like their final big mission, and just happens to be an alien warship there that starts attacking him. There's a whole bunch of reasons why, but it was just like, and they're also setting this up obviously for a larger sequel that you could see coming around the corner also. So like I said, it was like we watched it and we're like, which is a shame. Like I said, I like Alan Richardson. I think he's a great actor, but from my standpoint, I thought it was just very, very it's been done kind of thing.
Think he's going to get a sequel now, or what do you think?
I don't know. It depends how much Netflix liked it, I guess.
Yeah. Success is arbitrary.
Depends. Yeah, it definitely is these days. Because you don't even know how many people watched it, right? Only Netflix knows.
Right. Yeah, they know.
So, John, what the hell is this that you watched or saw?
Oh, the best thing I've seen in a month I want to talk about. So when we had an opportunity to go to New York Toy Fair in Manhattan, just coincidentally, the early showings for a brand new live musical theater show was opening. And normally that wouldn't have been on my radar, but it was all about Bigfoot. Bigfoot,
sorry.
The musical.
Sorry.
You stifle that laughter. Bigfoot the musical.
No, don't stifle the laughter. That's what the show was designed for.
But he's laughing at it, not with it. That's the problem. Yes.
Yeah, I am definitely laughing at it.
So, I mean, you might not think a musical about Bigfoot would be good, but you would be wrong. You would be wrong.
Would I?
Yeah. So yeah. George knows. So I made George go with me. He was a little reluctant, but I tell you, he was a good sport. He's like, well, I haven't been to a live musical theater. I'll go along. I don't know if I'll like it or not, but he was very open-minded, right?
Okay.
The concept is it's in this little fictional town called Mud Dirt, and everything is bad there. There's like a chemical dump and a nuclear plant and everything. And oddly prophetic, though has been written for the last 10 years. It's about a corrupt politician who decides to make a shady deal to build a water park that will only benefit him and nobody else. And to get his approval, he blames Bigfoot as the cause of the town's problem as a distraction. Interesting.
Is Bigfoot in this thing?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Oh, really?
100% he is. He absolutely does sing. There is a singing, dancing Bigfoot. So we went and saw this. There was a little stage. I don't know Manhattan, but what?
There's not just a dancing, singing Bigfoot.
Oh, there's
Let's
more.
Dig in a little bit. There is a gay dancing, singing Bigfoot.
That's true.
In this play.
That's true.
Oh.
And he is awesome as hell.
Mo, there is a scene where, by the way, it's set in the 80s, not for nothing. It's set in the 80s. This takes place. And there's a lot of 80s references, but there's one moment, the great music video where the hair band is standing there singing and dancing and the fan is blowing his hair, right? He's got the big, well, they had that, but his entire body was blowing in the fan, right? All of his hair was blowing, not just his feathered hair on his head, all of it. We saw it at the New York City Center stage, a small little stage, like a downstairs stage, small company, only 6 actors in this thing. But the cool thing is, to a person, every one of them was a good vocalist and a good comedian with great timing. And they did multiple roles and they embodied them. At one point, they even make fun of the fact they do multiple roles, which was great extra stuff. And I mentioned the 80s stuff in there. So I tried to make a list of the 80s stuff. George, chime in if you think of others that we saw. They talked about Care Bears, Reagan, his love for jelly beans, Ike Turner was brought up, Shaka Khan, the Transformers. At one point, there's reference to a strip club and we get samples of both Cherry Pie by Warrant and Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue.
Oh, God.
There's even like a 80s style guitarist playing the guitar with her mouth like she's Jimi Hendrix or something, right? Yeah. And the mayor of the town has a Pee Wee Herman high water suit and a huge mullet, which is spectacular.
I would have said it was more Miami Vice style, but okay.
It was definitely the coloration of a Miami Vice. He had like the pink undershirt and stuff in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Suit over t-shirt?
Kind of.
Well, maybe.
I mean, he wore a tie, but
yeah.
Miami Vice, not in the t-shirt laid back Crockett and Tubbs kind of style, but just in the pastels and the glitz and the cut of the jacket.
Yep. I want to say it was really reasonable. Like to see this show was, I think, $70 or $80. The cheapest seats were $60. How many people in the theater? 400, 500, 600 people fit in that theater? You think?
Small theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. It probably maybe 400. Yeah. It was not a huge venue.
Yeah.
It wasn't one of those that you think of when you think of going to Broadway, which this was not far from Broadway, at least in my opinion. I mean, I was in New York for the first time, so anything that was north of Kentucky was close to Broadway as far as I was concerned, and this was that. But man, yeah, I'm going to take over a little bit because I wanted to talk about this musical as well. As a matter of fact, I told John, I don't know why we haven't already talked about this musical on the podcast because it's arguably my favorite thing that I've seen all year, and I don't see anything replacing it for the rest of the year.
The rest of the year? We're only in March.
Yeah. It was probably because I've never been to theater live before. I've seen, video of musical theater and musicals themselves made into movies and whatnot, but I've never been to the actual experience. And it is exactly what anybody who enjoys the theater says. That's very cliche. It's a different kind of experience. You're interacting a little bit with the people on stage. Something different can happen every night. There were certainly little flubs here and there as they were preparing this stage for its, I guess, main run or whatever you call it. But there was no part of this from the moment that they let us in with our tickets to the moment that we left. And even we're standing outside this little theater waiting for a ride share and whatnot. There was no moment that I didn't thoroughly enjoy my time there.
That's awesome.
Now, John says it's a reasonable price. To me, it's a little expensive, but that's maybe because I'm not used to going to theater productions. Right. Maybe it's expected that they're in those $75 to $100 prices. And if John said that the theater seats, like the cheapest you said, John, was $60, I felt like our seat maybe should have been in that price range because we were way off to the left. And I was a Like, are we going to have the problem like in Bowfinger where they're all sitting off to the front corner of the stage and not be able to really see things?
View. There's a post or something, right? Yeah.
But it wasn't that way. It was very in your face, very close, and very relatable throughout the entire play. I just felt like it was something that I could be a part of. I still hear the songs in my head a month later. I still remember every single actor. And the thing that John, I didn't give him a chance maybe to say is, John said that there were 6 actors. There are not 6 roles.
Yeah.
There are probably 20 roles in the play, and these actors switch between the roles as they move on and off stage. There's probably a lot of quick change going on, but the best one, there is one of the young ladies who plays one of the ancillary characters in the town,
like
but then she plays, she plays kind of a pivotal character in relation to the water park. The town role is a female role, but the water park role is a male role. And at one point, she has a conversation with herself on stage.
Oh my God. I mean, she pulls it off?
She pulls it off brilliantly. I don't know if that was the director writer that do it, but she does this little thing where she spins. And as she spins, she takes off a hat and mustache and she becomes the female character. And then she spins back and she puts the hat and mustache back on and she's the male character. And of course, at one point, the mustache just fell off and they just ran with it. It was so funny. Oh, it was so brilliant. The mayor of the town was over the top in the best drunken hooligan out for himself kind of way. He has
money's my daddy.
He has a prolonged scene where he literally shoots himself about 20 times. And it is flawlessly funny.
Accidentally.
It's almost, I'm not going to say it's exactly like, but because he's a comedic genius, but it's so close to a John Ritter physical comedy moment.
Oh, okay.
That it made me think back to the old Three's Company days. It was just so good. And the gentleman who played Bigfoot, he's from our neck of the woods. He's from down here in Georgia. And he knew where Tallahassee was because we met him after the play.
Okay.
And I was just thanking him and a couple of the other cast members for making my first theater experience so glorious and so much fun. I really didn't want to go after that. I would have loved to have seen the play again the next night or even that same night. It was simply the best way to escape reality while still making you think about reality I've ever had.
Yeah. So I've seen a few. I'm so glad you enjoyed it, George. I wasn't sure what you would think of that kind of thing, being new to it. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. The few that I've seen, so I've ranked them. So the number one live theater performance I've ever seen is still the Book of Mormon.
That's great.
It's Trey and Matt, the Southport guys. The number 2 is Beetlejuice the musical. That was mind-blowing and amazing. This is number 3 for me. Bigfoot the musical is right up there. It's a smaller production, but it was intimate and it was a little rough around the edges, but not in an amateur way, in a we're getting the parts together way, play along with us and enjoy it kind of thing. And it made it all the more fun. I've recommended it to several other people who live in the Northeast, and they're like, we'll go. It's only open right now through the end of April. So if you live anywhere nearby, you ought to go if you're nearby the city.
Yeah. Was it crowded? Like the theater was packed? Was it full?
Standing room only.
Slam packed. Oh yeah. Yeah. And this was the like George said, the pre, or they're still fine tuning the show, right?
Okay.
Like I saw some stuff online. I didn't spoil it for myself, but after the fact, I went online looking for footage from the show. And like some of the songs have changed a little bit. Some of the story beats have changed a little bit, the way the show begins. So they're still tuning it some, but now it's fully open as we talk about it right now. And you still got another, 6 weeks at least. And if it does well, maybe more. You know, shows like this do. They may get promoted and move closer to Broadway. That'd be great.
So Mo, I also, just while we were talking here, I went and found they have what looks like a table read kind of setting of them performing the first song in the play.
Okay.
And I put that link. It's a YouTube video. I put that link in the show notes for you to give to everybody, because I don't care if you like musicals. I don't care if you like comedy. I really don't give a shit if you like theater. You will enjoy this if you have at all a slight sense of humor. This thing is brilliant. It's well written throughout the entire thing. It's a 90-minute run, but it felt like it was short. 25.
Yeah.
No intermission. Yeah.
No intermission. Yep. And as a matter of fact, they made the people at the theater, who I'm assuming, you know, are also stage hands and stuff, because I'm sure everybody does multiple jobs there. Mm-hmm. They were made sure you were very aware that there was no intermission and where the bathrooms were, and go take care of that now. And don't worry about buying any merch before the show, because you'll understand all the merch after the show. Okay. And as a matter of fact, I think John bought something. I meant to, but I just didn't. Yeah. But it was. Yeah, it's solid. I hope that this thing continues its run. If it gets picked up in any other media format and they don't bring back this original cast, I'll be sorely disappointed. Tough. So I can understand when some people say, oh, it doesn't have the originals, it's not going to be as good, like, you know, back with Grease or any of the other things that became famous in other medium formats. Mm-hmm. If this thing gets to live on, this cast and the writing staff and everybody involved need to be essential parts of the production, because they made it. As far as I'm concerned, they made that night for me.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah. Amber Ruffin is the primary author and the producer of this show. She's
really?
She used to write for Seth Meyers. Yeah. Amber Ruffin show. She had her own show for a while. And apparently she's been working on this for 10 years, and it just finally came to fruition.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was... come for the Bigfoot, stay for the amazing musical. It was tremendous. It was tremendous. So, you know, talk your wife into taking you up there and checking it out before it leaves in April.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
It's
you
really
like to visit
worth
Manhattan?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really, really worth it. As a matter of fact, if it's still running when we go to Long Island Retro in August, I'm going to make a trek over to go watch it again.
Wow. I don't know how we can top that in this show, but when we get back from the break, we're going to have a little more show. It won't be a Bigfoot show, but it'll be a show. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an Enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Be sure to subscribe to or follow Gen X Grown Up wherever you listen. And while you're there, rate and review the show too. It helps more than you know.
The finer things in life. Happily, some are affordable, like Grey Poupon Dijon mustard. Grey Poupon is so fine, it's even made with white wine. Its original French Dijon recipe adds distinctive flavor to beef, pork, and poultry, salad dressing and sauces, and of course, sandwiches. So enjoy one of life's finer pleasures.
Pardon me, would you have any Grey Poupon? But of course.
Grey Poupon. It even has wine.
All right, John, why don't you kick us off today on our tech and toy section?
Sure. Yeah, I have absolutely something that is a toy, 100% a toy. It's actually a collection of toys. And as you're recording with me here, you might notice I did not put a link in the show notes for anything because don't go buy these things online. They will rip you off. These are toys that you can find at Five Below at the discount stores.
Okay.
Yeah. So because people, they'll go buy them there and they'll put them up for $10, $15 online trying to rip you off. So I'm not going to give you any links for them, but they're building toys, not Lego, fake knockoff Lego stuff. However, pretty good for what they are. So it's a company called Block Tech. I've seen them around before. They're compatible with Lego, but you guys know how Lego feels. The click is so precise, and the fit is so perfect, and anything else you can, like the plastic's a little softer, but this is like 80% quality compared to Lego. So it's not bad. They're certainly good. And the designs are really good. But the thing that made them, multiple people got some of these for me for Christmas back in December because of the theme. They have a line called Arcade Classics. And there are 4 sets. There is a like an outrun, sit down driving kind of game. It looks like something that came straight out of a Dave & Buster's arcade, right? It's a sit down arcade. There is kind of like a drum hero, like Guitar Hero, but for drums, like a drum set with a big monitor and everything set up for it. There's a claw machine that has little balls in it with a little claw, like you would see also in the arcade. And the fourth one is a Dance Dance Revolution machine that has like the step-on pads and stuff like that. The designs are right up there. I mean, look, not everybody can work for Lego, but there are plenty of smart people that work with bricks. And so I've been slowly putting these together. I put together the racing one. I put together the Dance Dance Revolution one. And though the brick quality is not quite up to par, the game, I call my game, the model design is pretty darn good. It's not just square. There's nice angles and clever uses of, different shapes and things like that. The only thing that bugs me, and the thing that some people are adamant about this, some people aren't. I'm very adamant. I hate when they give you stickers that span multiple bricks.
Oh, because you're locking those bricks together, essentially. Right?
Yes, I feel like that's cheating. Like, just give me, if it spans 4 bricks, give me 4 stickers and let me put them in the center of the bricks. Because now this it's going to have a crease in the middle and you can never take them apart again. And it's cheating in that, well, if you didn't have a brick that size, don't give me a sticker that size. Make me do it that way, But all of them, like I said, we found them at Five Below. Both my wife and my daughter found them at Five Below, and they are $5. They're not now. Five Below is notorious for having things that are a little more than $5 sometimes. But these are all $5. And I was going to get you a link, Mo, and put it in the show notes, but I've seen them 10, 15, 20 bucks on eBay and Mercari, a place like that. It's just folks that don't know they come from discount stores and they're paying too much for them. So a little company called Block Tech. So it gives you a reason. Now, the next time you're out and about and you see like a Five Below or one of those kind of Dollar Tree stores, duck in and look, because they're for as cheap as they are, like all 4 of those are $20. And it's at least as much fun as an $80 Lego probably. So you're going to have a lot of fun with it. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, apparently it's not just Five Below. They also sell them at Walmart and Barnes & Noble. I don't know what the prices are, but I was looking on, because when you search Block Tech building blocks online, you're going to get links to 2 different websites. The second one is not them. It looks like the first one is from what you're describing, but I can't see any of the visuals of any of the sets on their website. And the best you can do is you get like where to buy, and they have Walmart, Amazon, and Five Below listed. And then in some other things, I see Barnes & Noble listed. So,
yeah.
Maybe if you don't have a Five Below where you live, because it's not a huge chain, you might be able to find them at one of those other places.
Makes sense.
All right. Good tip. All right. Thanks, George. All right. Mo, how about you? What have you been playing with in tech and toys?
Yeah. So this is me and my wife have started getting back into doing jigsaw puzzles. You have them set up and just over the course of however long, you put them together. And so I was kind of looking for some that were a little bit more interesting, kind of a little different. And there's a company called Quokka, and I hope that I pronounced that right. It's Quokka. Right. And what makes their puzzles, one is that their pieces are, some of them are like very interesting shapes unto themselves. They're not the very typical jigsaw, piece set looking.
Right.
And the picture they give you to build it on is slightly different than what you're actually building.
Ooh.
So think of it like
challenging.
I kind of compare it like Richard Scarry. Remember the Richard Scarry picture books when they have like this huge scene of like a fair and there's all like a million things going on.
There are tiny little details everywhere.
Tiny little details. That's what these are. Except the tiny little details can be different. And actually, unfortunately, my wife was trying to put together before she knew this. And she spent the entire time trying to find this one particular spot where it went. And she was going crazy because she's like, it has to be here. And I was like, oh, I forgot to mention. It doesn't exactly match the image. Right. And then once you put the whole puzzle together, it has 2 envelopes inside. One envelope, you open it and it says, okay, find these 50 items.
Okay.
In the thing, now that you put it together. And then it has another puzzle, which you have to actually hit a QR code to see it, which is these are items that are missing from the puzzle that were in the picture. And so you have an option. You can get a little bit more life after you build it. To tell you the truth, after we were done building it, I was like, yeah, we're not going to go for that. We built it, took a picture, we built it and threw it back in the box. But they are very interesting, very colorful, really high quality pieces. And it was fun to build.
You take puzzles back apart after you build them?
Yeah.
Doesn't everybody glue them together? I thought everybody did that.
No, we put them together, give them the good.
I want a trophy. Oh my goodness. You remind me of something that sounds really cool. It reminds me of when I was in college. I would sometimes do puzzles, and I found this cool one that I'm going to say 3D puzzle, and you're going to think, oh, the Sistine Chapel, one of those 3D puzzles. No. This was a puzzle that built a 3-dimensional building. You emptied the box, and then you built the puzzle around the outside of the box.
Oh,
and it was a brownstone building, and you had to build all the little windows out of like 6 pieces. But then each of those groups of 6 pieces, they were the same on all 4 sides. You had to figure out from the context of the people in the pictures, oh, the guy upstairs is dancing. So you had to find the guy dancing and put those 2 together. Or if my next door neighbor has cats, you had to look for the window that has cats and put that next door, but he knows left or right. But that was really cool. It reminds me of that. So I'm interested in this. I didn't know they had those. So Quokka.
Quokka.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I kind of I took a look at the link that you provided, Mo, and I was interested to see that the pieces, it says, are twice as thick as regular jigsaw pieces. Is that what you found too?
Oh, yeah, they fit together. Like when pieces go together, they go together really well.
Okay, because the twice as thick part is what interests me, because a lot of times you get the puzzle pieces and the little nib is bent really badly and it affects the picture, or you can't quite get it to link up with the piece that it's supposed to, because it's like, if they're doing these things at a thicker, higher quality, I can understand then why it's a more premium item for what it is. And 1,000 pieces, I don't know if that's worth $22, but it seems like it might be, especially with the extra fun of the mystery stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because normally they run, $16, $15-$16 for a 1,000-piece puzzle. So you're definitely paying a premium, like you said. Okay. But let me tell you, these are very, very high quality pieces. Like I said, when things fit together, they fit together really well. Like you didn't have that whole, is it kind of fitting? And again, it was a lot of fun. And the size of the pieces and the shapes weren't always the typical jigsaw puzzle shape, which makes it more interesting too, because actually inside there's some parts that are circular, and you build this whole circular part, and then that fits into the whole jigsaw puzzle and things like that.
Interesting.
One of the pieces was shaped like a rocket ship for some reason, so
why not?
Yeah, why not? So it was interesting. You said it was fun. If you're into jigsaw puzzles, I definitely say take a look at these, and they're a little bit more of a challenge just because of that additional level of okay, the picture is not exactly the same.
So it's close, I'm guessing.
It's
right?
close. It's very close.
Okay.
It's very close. Right. Mostly people are moving around.
Okay.
That's usually the things that's different.
Okay.
So that's what I got. How about you, George? What do you have for us today?
Well, I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast or not. We've certainly done a really outstanding video on this product already, and we've talked about this company in a couple of videos before. I wanted to talk about the Fightbox R10-Pro that we helped to design and create, as John talked about in the teaser earlier. This thing, I'll just set the stage. So we started working with Fightbox out of nowhere, at the beginning of the year, I think it was, or at the end of last year. Communications, because they're in China, were always difficult because I had to wait till middle of the night. So it was like a single answer was taking a day. It was like if you were on a spaceship in space and you were having to communicate back to Earth and you had to wait 24 hours to get the reply. That's kind of what it was happening. So it was a little bit of a slow process, but it's turned out to be worth the squeeze, so to speak, because as we were doing these videos, and John did the very first one, we had a lot of comments saying, oh, I wish it had a spinner, or I wish it had this, or I wish this was different. And they're really paying attention to the comments on those videos, and they reached out to us and were like, oh, your audience wants this, so we're already building that, and blah, blah, blah. And in my communications with the point of contact over there, the guy was like, oh, and we're also doing this. I know you like pinball. Can you help us figure some stuff out around doing pinball on a controller that can do most everything that people would want for video game playing? So I worked with them on where things should be placed and how they should function. So that's why this device has a spinner. It has a nice trackball. It has all the buttons that you would want for any type of fighting game or anything smaller. It's got the buttons up top for start and select and all that kind of stuff. But then on the side, I worked with them to create a set of 4 buttons, 2 on each side. One button is for the flippers, and the other button is to help you nudge the virtual pinball table, because almost every single one of these platforms allows you to nudge the pinball table.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, in order to get it to function properly with these different pinball platforms, Zen Studios, Pinball M, Pinball FX, Zaccaria, any of these different platforms that you might be using, you do need to put the joystick itself into a specific mode, and they provide instructions on how to do that. You hold down a couple of buttons and you move the joystick in a direction, and then it puts that controller into a specific mode that will allow those nudge buttons to work when you're playing with the virtual pinball machines. At first, they gave us the wrong set of instructions. And so I was putting it in the mode, and the nudge buttons were working in like a couple of the platforms, but not in some others. And then they realized they had made a mistake in the instructions with the translation or something, and they sent us the proper ones. And now it works great in all of them. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because this controller, if you are a pinball enthusiast, this is a great way to be able to sit in front of your computer with one of these pinball virtual platforms and have still a semblance of the feel of playing pinball in a physical location.
Mm-hmm. Now, something you didn't mention yet, or maybe I'm stealing your thunder, you're going to mention it. In addition to you helping to design it, they let you customize these things however you like. And so they actually added a GenXGrownUp exclusive skin on this thing that you can get, right?
Yes, and you didn't steal my thunder. I figured you would jump in and want to talk about that because that was the part that you did. So yeah, we do have one. And if you go to their website, and Mo, I've given you the link that'll take you to their website, and it'll take you through our link. So that way we'll know that you went there, and they will as well. You can even get a special discount on their systems. I forgot what it is. John probably knows.
10%. Yeah.
10%. There you go.
Already cheap prices, 10% off.
Yeah, that's a good discount because $180 is what this thing costs. So you're going to get nearly $20 off of this device by using that link. John did a beautiful graphic for it that has a lot of homages back to our old video game console days. There's the cute little orange ring that was on the old Atari joystick. There's some wood green at the top that's really nice. It's got our logo. It's a beautiful pattern. I think it's definitely one of the best looking joysticks out there, and it's certainly one of the best functioning joysticks that I've used as I'm not going to call it a joystick. I'm going to call it a control deck because that's more what it feels like to me.
Yep. Yeah, I've been using it quite a bit myself. I have it here because it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And it's so versatile. You can use it with just about anything. It's not just, you can use it with your PC, but Linux, Mac, PlayStation, I think 2, PlayStation, with Xbox. Now, the trackball doesn't work on PlayStation, but like in general, as much stuff it can work, does work in all those other platforms. You can use it with your Nintendo Switch. The player start buttons can be the minus plus buttons like a Switch. So it's you can use it on lots of stuff depending on what you want to use it with. And a lot of the things, it just works, or you can do the config, like you said, the 2 buttons and hit a direction, and it'll work with those different platforms. It's really versatile.
Yeah. And the great thing is it's an ongoing relationship, and they're paying attention to the comments for this video that John released. And so as people are saying, oh, I wish it worked with this, or I wish it did that, I'm getting questions from them all the time saying, oh, okay, well, we're going to start building that. I can't tell you all the stuff that they're coming out with because, we don't want to spoil any future news, but I know that they are specifically working on something that might be good for a lot of people who are fans of a specific old Disney-based video game. I'm not going to go into any details. You figure it out from there.
That's already enough. People know.
And they're also, I think they're working on a double stick kind of controller because of some of the comments where people were talking about they love to play games like Robotron and Crazy Climber and stuff like that. Yep. So I think that this is going to be a nice relationship with this company moving forward. They can churn out new builds faster than any company I've ever worked with. Like, I think it was maybe 3 weeks from the time I explained to them what I wanted to the time they were begging us for artwork.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Quick. I love companies that listen, and don't just listen, but take action. Listen to what the consumers and the customers want. And they're already doing that. It's been a really good relationship. So maybe you're not in the market, at least go look at the cool controller, right? Go check it out and see how nice it looks with the design and the artwork. I think it's really pretty. And it's neat to see that people that we don't even know, not my mom, real people out in the world that don't know us are buying GenXGrownUp branded controllers. It's really flattering, and it's really cool that people like our designs. It's really neat.
Hey, how are you? Ready to go for a run?
Running connects us to a rush of energy that flows through our world. The cheers of friends that unlock a new gear within us. The intersection of interests that inspires a run crew. The support that gets you over the finish line. Connection is why we move forward and what inspires us to keep going. Let's run there. Learn more at brooksrunning.com.
Adobe Acrobat Studio, your team's home base. Collaborate within a shared PDF space. You've got your docs, your plans, your specs, and then invite the crew to build what's next. They talk up the teamwork. Here's an updated render. They think that this design could be a contender. And when somebody wonders what's the next step, AI helps you finish the rest. Bolts are tight, now your plan's refined. Run a smoother business when you're all aligned. Do that with Acrobat.
Learn more at adobe.com/do-that-with-Acrobat.
Each episode of Gen X Grown Up has show notes loaded with links where you can learn more about our topics. And there's even more to see and hear over at GenXGrownUp.com.
Small load, huh?
Yours too.
Maybe we could wash them together.
Maybe.
It's on me.
So's the ring around the collar. We'll use my whisk. Tough stains like this need whisk. Whisk does a better job. And when whisk gets that ring around the collar...
Our whole wash is clean. Give you a ring?
Let's stick to collars.
Whisk gets ring around the collar and your whole wash clean.
This is the main event of the podcast. For the 3 in attendance locally and the millions listening around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time!
All right, it's time to talk about games, and we have exhausted our libraries of fully playable games, so we've decided this week that it's going to be only about demos. Actually, that's not what we decided. It just worked out that way. But John, let's go ahead and start with yours because you happened to do a live stream on it, and it was a very interesting looking demo.
Yeah. So the game is called Replaced. And you had a game a couple of weeks ago, Mo, and the name meant nothing, right? So,
yeah. It had nothing
and this
to do
is
with
one
anything.
of those that from that name, I don't know why it was called that. And it really was suggested by one of our viewers. I was planning on doing my regular Tuesday night live stream, and I had an idea for a game, and I wasn't married to it yet. And he's like, oh, you might want to check out this Replaced game. It's something you might like. And so I went and looked, and I only played it about 5 minutes before I went, oh, yeah, this is the thing I'm playing. So Replaced is a very pixelated looking sort of game, but only in the art design. It's not like restricted to being a retro game. In fact, it has that multi-level parallax horizontal scrolling stuff, like stuff in the super foreground, trees and bushes, and then you, and then the woods in the distance, and then, whatever.
Yeah, I get it.
Phone poles in the background, all that stuff, right? So it's very beautiful in that. There's a lot of zooming in and zooming out in this. It is, at its heart, kind of an adventure platformer, like a left and right scrolling kind of thing. I certainly wouldn't call it a Metroidvania because there's no backtracking. It's more of a linear, move your way forward, beat your way through people, get to the bosses and do that. And for a game, it's hard to explain it without having sent you to look at it. So, of course, Mo, I'm going to give you the link to where it is on Steam and my live stream. And seeing is believing, because as soon as I saw it, the animation and the art design is so nice. There are also some hybridizations of the game in there. So it kind of has a feel of that old Blade Runner game that was on PC back in the day, because the guy kind of has this trench coat, kind of has that sort of animation. It has a little bit of like old Prince of Persia, like I got to leap to a swing from this pipe to jump up to the second floor kind of thing. There's a little bit of that kind of, not quite platforming, but acrobatics of parkour going on in the game. And all that is really just the bedrock of what is some lore that makes this game incredibly interesting. And we dug into a lot of it during the live stream. I want to call it post-apocalyptic, but it's not really. It's post-nuclear. The concept of the game, you have this little PDA that you can read information on that looks really cool, kind of like a Pip-Boy in Fallout kind of thing. And the concept is that during the 40s, when we were testing nuclear bombs, we screwed up and we poisoned like a third of North America, and it become unlivable. So the war didn't go the way the war went. And so, the 70s didn't go the way the 70s went. Now we're here in the 80s and we're still living off of this scarcity environment and, poisoned water and this corrupt government agency that is really helping. But are they? Because they're kind of like this big brother sort of thing. This game comes out in April. April 14th, I think. It's going to come out later, which is about 3 weeks too long for me. When I finished the demo, I was very sad because it has good combat. You get to jump around and punch guys and execute them with your gun. And there's big boss fights and there's surprising set pieces that happen. And I know, George, you got to watch a little bit of it. I saw you in the live stream watching, and you're the one that reminded me. It was kind of like that Blade Runner game.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I don't know how to explain it. It's one of those, I can't wait to pay full price for it. And I'm guessing it's going to be, I got to think, a $20, $25 game, but it's gorgeous.
So you mentioned it was pixelated, like it's kind of the graphics and stuff. Why did they kind of go that route, you think? Did it help?
It's a good question. I think it's the 80s aesthetic. So since we're in the 80s, let's make it look like old pixely games. But I think, of course, it's the art style that's very popular right now. But something about good pixel art is like reading a good book. You can fill in the blanks. You can't really see this guy's face or what he's wearing. It's just the shape of things and kind of suggested. So you can map onto it whatever you think your guy looks like and what the bad guys look like. You get the shape of them and the coloration, but it lets your mind kind of expand on what they look like. So I'm sure that wasn't the ultimate goal, but it certainly helped for me because I was able to map myself onto this guy and go, oh, that's my dude. Whatever I would design, you just imagine he looks like that.
Okay,
So that's kind of how I was thinking.
So it definitely works.
It does work.
Okay.
Yeah, it works. Yeah. And you can go download it and play it right now for free. The demo link is in the show notes. But I would say you don't need the demo to play it. If you like our recommendations, like the kind of games we like, you're going to dig this. So now, George, you mentioned another demo, something that you dug up. What have you been playing?
Yeah. So I also found a demo, and I got this one sent to us through some kind of like one of the press releases or something. And the artwork is what grabbed my attention because it's very much Batman the Animated Series style of artwork. So not pixel art at all. And watching the trailer also had like kind of the musical score seemed big band kind of stuff, like, big cymbal drums and all that kind of stuff. Something out of the roaring 20s or 30s or something. But this game is called Smash and Grab. And the byline is, what happens when you tether a greedy, cunning raccoon to a heavy robot out for justice? That's easy. You get the chaotic, destructive duo of Smash and Grab. So the demo is only one level and it's very short. I played for maybe 5-10 minutes or something like that. It's based on you going in and robbing banks and museums and things like that. So you're running around in a Smash, you're this big guy and you got the raccoon on your shoulder and you break things apart, you steal diamonds out of cases and whatnot. But of course there's tons of security guards and they're out there trying to stop you and shoot you and beat you and everything. And you can defeat them in different ways. It's definitely one of these games where each team member has a specific set of skills that help you get past a special part of the level. And then there's also this element of every time you break something, you get like this little time bonus that helps you get a better score at the end of the level. So the whole thing is centered around you getting the best score possible every time you run through a level. To me, it was very, very fun. It was due to release today as we're recording this, March the 13th through the 19th, because Steam is doing something called the Games from Ireland initiative.
Oh, okay.
And that's apparently where this game comes from. But they did send me an email just this morning saying that there's been some kind of problem. And so due to something with Steam, the demo isn't out right now, but I'm hoping that by the time you hear this podcast next week, it will be out because it is an absolute blast to play. I predict that the game will probably come in at $15 to $20, probably, depending upon how large the game is, but it is a lot of fun and it's easy to pick up and play.
I was watching the trailer just a little bit and I saw your character Smash, like banging through walls and doing stuff. But I also saw the art with the raccoon on his shoulder. Do you get to be him or is he just in support? Can you switch control?
It's not a control switch. You're controlling both at the same time kind of thing, but not in the way like you and I played Twin Cop, not that kind of thing.
Okay.
I think at least in the first level of the demo, the raccoon is more of a projectile. So I played that Darkenstein 3D in a live stream last night, and you have this little rat that you can throw and he attacks people and does things for you. The raccoon does similar things like that in this game. You can throw him and he can smash like a control panel that you can't get to turn off something that
'cause
lets
he's
you
little.
move forward.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can also throw him at like some treasure that you can't get to as Smash, and he can grab the treasure and fly it back to you, kind of thing.
Okay.
Neat.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now he seems to just be a projectile, but
Yeah.
it's really funny. There's no, I don't want to say the sense of humor in the game is awesome, because it's not like there's a lot of dialogue or anything. It's literally just the driving music beat and you running around trying not to get shot while you smash and grab everything you can. That's the game.
Yeah.
At least so far. And to me, if it was $15, I'd probably be happy buying this.
Get it today? Yeah. Some good stuff on the horizon. And, that was supposed to be out. The other one just in a few weeks. So I bet you I'll be playing both of these before too long. So cool. We'll be right back.
Your favorite local grocery stores like Kroger, Ralph's, Fred Meyer, and more are now delivering on Uber Eats. Get 40% off your order of fresh, quality ingredients. Whether you just got home to an empty fridge or suddenly got a craving to whip up something new, you can get everything you need delivered in as little as 25 minutes. Get 40% off your order with code Kroger2026. Plus, members get $0 delivery fees. Order now on Uber Eats. Orders of $30 or more save up to $25. Ends 4/30/26. See app for details.
This episode is brought to you by Cologuard. Do you know what's really scary? Not screening for colon cancer when you turn 45. The Cologuard test is non-invasive, requires no special prep or time off work, and ships right to your door. In just 3 simple steps, Cologuard takes the scare out of colon cancer screening. If you're 45 or older and at average risk, ask your healthcare provider about the Cologuard test. Cologuard is available by prescription only. Learn more or request a prescription today at Cologuard.com/screen.
If you're a die-hard Gen X grown-up, you can pledge your support by clicking join on YouTube or by becoming a patron at GenXGrownUp.com/Patreon.
Isn't it isn't it cool to drink cherry 7-Up and get enough? Isn't it so cool? Cool and pink makes you feel so right. You take a chance tonight. Isn't it cool and pink? Cherry 7-Up. Isn't it so cool and pink?
As we round out this episode of the show, we always like to pause here coming into the last little bit, talking about the things we're either looking at right now or looking forward to between now and the next time we get together. And I want to start with you, Mo. I want to know what you have on the horizon.
Sure. There's a second season of One Piece on Netflix. I really enjoyed the live action first season they did of that. So looking forward to the second season of it. Another one that's coming back is Invincible. Season 4 is coming out March 18th. So definitely looking forward to that. But by far, what I'm most looking forward to, we already got tickets, is to see Project Hail Mary on the 20th. Actually, I think we're seeing the 19th. I think we've seen the night before.
That's getting great reviews.
Oh, let me tell you. I mean, it's the book is amazing. The book is easily as good as The Martian. So it's the same writer. And I hope it's like I'm trying to manage my expectations because I don't want to go in there and be disappointed. But so far, everything I've seen just looks amazing. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. How about you, John?
Yeah, Project Hail Mary is on my list, of course. Yeah. It's in fact, we're in the same entourage. We'll be seeing it at the same time, at the same theater, on the same day together. I think I've seen 2 reviews of it, and I'm stopping now. Like that's all I need to know. I'm worried it'll spoil anything else. I've seen enough to know it looks cute, it looks fun, it looks heartfelt. So I'm good for that. Something that just popped up on my radar, my peripheral radar, but I'm really fascinated with AI and its evolution and stuff. There's a documentary hitting theaters. I expect it'll hit streaming pretty quickly after that. March 27th, called The AI Doc, or How I Became an Apocalyptimist.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I guess looking forward to the apocalypse. I don't know, but it's all about the evolution of AI. It's this documentary. I love documentaries. I'm interested in AI. The thing I'm most looking forward to, though, is a game that it demoed back at where they had the big PlayStation show off all their new games coming out. And there was a game called Darwin's Paradox. And it's on PC as well. I played it on Steam. I played the demo. You're a secret agent squid who is running around the world trying to solve some kind of a mystery. And because you're like a squid who can like camouflage himself, like you can freeze and kind of your skin becomes the color of the rocks around you or something. And it's very kind of like, I don't know, I want to call it like No One Lives Forever, kind of like burner, kind of James Bond, but with tongue in cheek sort of thing. He's kind of a cartoony squid. It reminds me of the squid. Was it Hank in Dory? That squid who was kind of a funny but brave squid in the Nemo sequel. Anyway, it reminds me of that guy. So that's coming out April 2nd, Darwin's Paradox. I look forward. I can't wait to play that one when it comes out. George, how about you then? What do you got coming up?
Yeah, so a sequel movie, Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, is March 20th. So day after this podcast drops. Looks like it'll be a lot of fun. And I enjoyed the first movie. It was one of those good little survival horror kind of things that had a neat little twist on it with
kind of a surprise,
the elitist kind of thing. Yeah. Second one I'm looking forward to is a TV show for Amazon Prime, March 20th as well, called Jury Duty Presents Company Retreat. Now, this is from the same company that did the original show called Jury Duty, where they took an unsuspecting individual and placed him inside a mock fake trial courtroom with everybody was actors except for him. They're doing the same thing now with somebody who appears to be a new hire at a company. So I don't know if it'll be as funny as the original, but it's, because they did such a good job with the first one, this one has interest for me. Thing I'm looking forward to the most, though, a few days after those two things released, Daredevil Born Again Season 2 on Disney Plus, March 24th.
Really? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it for a weird reason. I realized as I saw the announcements for Season 2, I never watched Season 1. I let it slip off my radar doing so many other things. And so I went back and watched episode 1 of Season 1 and went, holy shit. What did I miss out on? And I've got to finish this season now before the Season 2 comes out so I can watch it and really enjoy it. And I think it'll be good because I won't have to try and remember what happened previously because I'll have just finished it
fresh.
Before it comes out. Daredevil Born Again Season 2, if it's half as good as episode 1 of Season 1, I think I'm all in.
Very cool.
Yeah, sounds good. I am going to thank a brand new Patreon supporter, but before I do, Mo, I know one of the benefits of being a supporter is asking a question here on the show that we'll all answer, and I see you have one teed up for us.
Yeah, this is kind of unique. We actually had two different people ask the same question or a variant of the same question. So it's Joe H. and Uno Clay, who's both both long-term supporters of the show. And the question they asked is, was there a toy that you wanted as a kid and never got? And did you wind up getting it for yourself as an adult?
Oh, the second part's the stinger.
Yeah. Did you wind up finally getting it? So, John, you want to kick us off?
I can. Absolutely. Yeah. And I'll start by saying it was a little tough because I was an only child. I had half siblings, but in my house, I was an only child. So I was spoiled rotten. My parents found a way to get most anything I asked for within reason. So I didn't go without. I really had a lot of the things that I wanted, but we've talked many times here on the show about how video game consoles were like water heaters. It's like, why am I going to get you another one? You already have the Atari. You got one. Well, they're different. No, you got one already. And the ColecoVision was the thing that I really wanted. In television, not so much, though in hindsight, I've really been enjoying exploring that. But ColecoVision just looked so much better. The arcade conversions, it shipped with Donkey Kong for crying out loud. It was so much better than the Atari one. And it was, first of all, it came along in 83. So the video game crash was about to happen. So it's probably best that I didn't get it. It was just one of those things. I didn't beg too hard because I kind of knew it really wasn't in the cards for me. But the follow-up, absolutely. I have one today. I was able to get one. I love it. Of course, I play it in emulation, but I have a genuine one. I got about 20 cartridges. And it's an astounding, pretty much everything is arcade conversions, but I love what a good job they did with them as early as 83 because they had the hardware to burn. So it was really good. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. How about you, George?
Well, when I saw this question put into the card, I was like, well, shit, here we go again. I'm going to tell the 10-speed bicycle story that I've told about 4 times on the podcast. And as I'm sitting here, I'm like, do I really want to tell a story again? Then I remembered there was another toy that I really wanted when I was a kid that I didn't get. And so if you want to hear that bicycle story, if you haven't heard it back, I challenge you to go back and listen to every single episode of the podcast, and you'll find it in there somewhere eventually.
Yeah. Good odds.
But for right now, I'll say that one of the toys that I didn't get that I really wanted when I was a kid was the Star Wars Millennium Falcon.
Oh,
I really wanted any or all of the Star Wars figures from, I guess it was Kenner.
Yes,
was that who
Kenner.
did them
That's
back
right.
then?
It was Kenner. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get any of them. I think I maybe got one Luke Skywalker or something because the neighbor across the street had all the Star Wars toys. And the way the parents in the neighborhood worked when I was a kid was if one neighbor has it, nobody else has to buy it because all the kids can go play with that neighbor's toys. So because he had the Star Wars toys, I had the Atari 2600. Kid down the street had a basketball hoop. That was just the way it worked. To the second part of the question, did you get one for yourself as an adult? Absolutely not, because that shit is expensive as hell on eBay, and the ones that I can't afford are broke and yellowed, and I don't feel like fixing them. But if there was some way that I could magically go back in time and buy one of those for my younger self, I would absolutely do it, because I really, really wanted one of those Millennium Falcons.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't have had any characters to put in it. That's the weird thing, right?
Well, I mean, I would have assumed that had I been gifted the Millennium Falcon, I would have at least gotten a Han Solo and a Chewbacca, but who knows?
Yeah. You'd hope.
You can always fly it next door to the neighbor, I guess, and load it up with his people.
Yeah, so I gave a thought, and I had one that popped immediately to my head, and I said, nope, I'm not going to talk about that because it's too embarrassing. Try to find something else. Kept coming back to this one, so I'm just going to go. I've got to do it. I wanted a freaking pet rock.
Oh, that's cute. Okay. Sure.
No, well, I wanted one. I don't know why. All my friends got them. It was a novelty thing. If you haven't heard about the pet rock, it was literally a rock in a box with some straw.
It was all marketing.
And I told my dad about that, and his answer was just look at me like I was insane, basically. And he's like, not going to happen ever. You know, and I think he went as far as say, if I ever even see you buy yourself one of these, I'm going to throw it away. You know, he says, because this is the stupidest waste of money I've ever seen in my life. So never got one. And in hindsight, I'm thankful that I never got one because it is stupid as any. I mean, come on. It was such a novelty thing. It was such a, I mean, they sold 1 billion of them. I wish I came up with the idea because whoever came up with it made a ton of money over something really stupid. But yeah, that was the one that, and I have not gone back and tried to buy one for myself because I guess my dad will come back from the grave and yell at me if I did that. So don't want that to happen.
I got rocks out front, Mo. I'll sell you cheap.
There you go.
Right.
So thanks so much for the question, guys. And if you want to get your question asked on the show, it's super easy. All you got to do is go to GenXGrownUp.com/Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, your question could be asked right here on the show.
That's right. And someone who did that recently, Raphael L, went over to patreon.com/GenXGrownUp, opened up his heart and his wallet and said, yeah, I want to support Gen X Grown Up. And something I'll mention, by the way, we're currently rebuilding our Patreon tiers, and there's a brand new benefit. If you enjoy the podcast, if you're at the $5 level or higher, you have a private feed where you can listen to the podcast completely advertising free. None of the inserted ads, just our retro commercials, just the way we edit it on our Tuesday streams. You don't have to wade through or skip through anything. We're looking for, George, what new things can we give the patrons, he said. And I'm like, how about this? I've heard people ask about ad free, so that's available to you as well. So Raphael, thank you so much for joining. We appreciate you and everyone who continues to support us over there. Amazing folks, and we're so grateful for you. That then is going to wrap it up for this edition, 207 of the Gen X Grown Up podcast. But if you were worried, you should not worry. We will be back in 2 weeks with another episode. More importantly, next week, that's our backtrack, where we pick a single nostalgic topic and dig in deep. And George, would you like the honor of sharing with the fourth listener what's coming their way next week?
No problem whatsoever. We are heading back 40 years. We're buying some tickets. We're getting some stale popcorn and some terrible butter product. We're going to sit down and we're going to take a look. It's not butter. Come on.
No, you're right.
It's absolutely
It's not even one of the things where I can't believe it's not butter. It doesn't even qualify as that.
I can believe it's not butter.
Yeah.
But we're going to sit back and we're going to count down the top 10 box office grossing movies from 1986 in order of how much they received in love and dollars from the 1986 Gen X child in all of us.
Nice. Yeah. You do not want to miss that one. I already know what movies are on the list, and I don't want to miss it, and I haven't recorded it yet. It's coming up next week. All right. Hopefully we'll see you here for that one. Until then, I am John. George, thanks so much for being here, pal.
Yes, sir.
Mo, I appreciate you, man.
Always fun, man.
Fourth listener, it's you we all appreciate most of all, though. We can't wait to talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Take care, everybody.
No life, no fun. Don't you know that you're a grown up?
Gen X Grown Up is a member of the Evergreen Podcast family. Learn more at evergreenpodcasts.com.
While she shows till sunrise. Unacceptable for grown-ups. Your dinner cannot just be french fries. Basically, life sucks as a grown-up.
Megalomaniacal. No.
Oh, it's 2 words. Megalomaniacal.
Yeah.
But I can't say them together. Megalomaniacal. If I pause,